What up, everybody? We're back with more Reddit stories. This time, it is toxic in-laws. Hope you enjoy.
Alright, so the first one comes from r/Am I the asshole from a random throwaway. Am I the asshole for leaving after my sister-in-law called me clingy? I, 24 female, had been visiting my aunt's place for a wedding who lives a few hours away from me. She had 2 boys, 30 and 27 male, and both of them are married to 2 beautiful and intelligent women. I met them only recently, and I have not hung out with them a lot. I always wanted older brothers since I only have an older sister, although I acknowledge this was not their responsibility. My aunt loved me a lot, though. I asked her if I could stay at their place for a couple days more. At night, both of my cousins were with their wives, and I was helping my aunt with the dinner. She asked me to call all of them downstairs. When I went to the room, I heard my older sister-in-law say, "Ugh, when is original poster leaving? I don't know why she is so clingy. She annoyed us throughout the wedding and meddles in our family so much." My cousins just lightly laughed along. I'm unsure if they found her humor in her words or was it awkward or laughter.
Why are they calling her clingy? If it's her sister-in-law, she's married to that person's brother, so how is it clingy that she was at the wedding?
I also think it's interesting that she uses the term sister-in-law when it's not really a sister-in-law. It's her aunt's children, which would be her cousin. So I guess it would be cousin-in-law. But still, I mean, it's from what the rationale that the sister-in-law gave. It's annoyed us throughout the wedding and meddles in our family so much.
But, like, she's married into the family, so it's now her family, too.
I guess so, yes. I don't know.
Especially if they're saying that because, like, maybe her husband or... I mean, I guess we don't know if it's a husband or sister she's married unless she says my husband. Did she say my husband? If not, whoever her partner in the family that she is married asks for her opinion. If they're married, I assume they see, like, the impact it's having on their partner.
Says, then my cousin saw me in the doorway, and it looked like he had seen a ghost. I just said, "Please come downstairs, dinner's ready." He stopped me and asked me if I heard her. I just gave him a smile and said while holding back tears, "I did, but it's okay because she can have her opinion. It's okay if she doesn't like me. I did not take it into consideration that you guys are on a hectic schedule and forced myself here. I'll do better." He apologized to me on her behalf, and she apologized as well, saying she was just stressed about the busy schedule and packing, although I had been doing chores for them all day to not be dead weight.
I mean, like, did she invite herself over? Because, like, personally for me, if I'm stressed out and, like, hectic, yeah, like, chores are stressing me out, but having more people in the house would stress me out more. Especially if it's, like, possibly someone you don't fully get along with, or someone in your family where you can't be, like, 100% comfortable with, you know?
After the dinner, they tried to talk to me, but I avoided them and called a friend. I talked to him, just trying to calm myself down because my feelings were really hurt and I felt unwanted. In the morning, I packed my bags early and told my aunt I'm going to visit a friend in the city, then I have a flight late in the evening to go back home ASAP for work. My aunt was surprised and asked me to wait until my cousins wake up before I go, but I told her I had said my goodbyes last night already. After seeing my friend, I just went to the airport a few hours early and sat in the lounge until it was time to go. My sister and I have shared GPS locations for safety purposes, and I forgot that she can see me being at the airport a couple days earlier than planned. I told her everything. When I got off the flight, I had missed calls and texts from my aunt and my cousins.
What do you think?
I don't know. I don't feel like this is a story I feel super connected with, so I don't really feel like I have super strong opinions. I mean, one person shared their opinions. It hurt the other person.
But none of them were, like, super... Sorry, I interrupted you, but, like, none of them were super, like, being mean.
Yeah, I mean, it was just don't want to say an accident because she did mean to say it. But at the same time, it doesn't seem like she was saying it in a way to try to hurt her. She was just simply stating her opinion. But also, maybe I'm being a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? A bit harsh here, but I think for her being 24, like, I don't know, I feel like her response was a little immature to kind of just ditch everybody, just leave, rather than trying to talk about it, talk about the feelings, talk about, like, why it may have occurred and try to actually fix the hurt. She just simply ran from the situation.
Yeah, I understand that, but I also understand maybe, like, with what's said is, like, that the person was feeling like she was being clingy and, like, inserting herself when it's not needed, like, them not needing the help. So her being like, okay, then I will exit. Like, I don't think, like, yeah, I think it's a little messed up. They shouldn't talk to them, and they're like, hey, I heard what you said, and, like, for that reason, I think it's best if I go. Like, that would be the mature thing rather than just leaving in the night.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, let's wrap it up here. Apparently, my sister told my mom and what went down, and she wasn't too happy. She then called my aunt and asked her about this, and found out that she was unaware of it all. My cousins had played it cool. Long story short, my aunt and my uncle are super upset with my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law feels like I made an immature and rash decision and made her look bad in front of the entire family. I could have given them a chance the next day to fix things, but I threw them all under the bus. Am I the asshole?
I feel like everybody just sucks, I guess. Because
Yeah.
I don't feel like anybody's really an a-hole in this.
Yeah, it feels like a very real situation, but, like, I don't know, I don't feel super crazy. I don't feel super strong feelings one way or the other. It feels like something where it might hurt in the moment, but it's going to be a raindrop in the storm.
Yeah, like, I just feel like it's a very mature thing. Like,
Immature?
they're 24. Yeah, I just feel like they're all just, especially if it's, like, cousins, like, technically cousin-in-laws. She keeps saying sister-in-law, which is weird. I agree, but I don't know. I just feel like it's a very mature situation. And I feel like it's being blown up.
Here's a quick little edit to add some clarification.
She's trying to eat string. Sorry.
No eating string for you. Get over here.
It got stuck on her nose, and now she's trying to eat it.
Don't eat string. Kids, don't eat string out there. It's not good for you. So yeah, a little bit of an update here. Oh, I accidentally closed it. A lot of confusion about brothers and sisters, like we said. It's Indian culture. Apparently in the culture, cousins are just called brothers. Was not standing and eavesdropping. I was in the bedroom with the four of them before I went to help for dinner. They're older than me, so it would have been disrespectful for me to yell dinner is ready. Trying to think. Nothing else too major in that edit. So yeah, basically, just kind of what we expected. I mean, yeah, I'm not super moved one way or the other. Alright, so our second story also comes from r/am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for making my pregnant sister-in-law cry when she kept asking why I changed my name? My brother, 30 male, is married to Haley, 29 female, and they're expecting a baby together. Last year, I, 17 female, officially changed my first name from Evelyn to Indy, which was a nickname form of my original middle name. My parents gave in after realizing how serious I was about being Indy and how I was not warming up to or growing into Evelyn. My brother and Haley want an older/vintage name for their baby, and Haley asked me about 5 months ago why I disliked Evelyn enough to change the name. At the time, she brought up how popular the name has become and how vintage is back. I told her I didn't like vintage names, and to me it sounded really old-fashioned. I told her the popularity didn't influence my decision. She wanted to know my reason for disliking older names and why I liked something like Indy instead. I didn't mind her asking this first time. I mean, I think off the rip, I think part of what the issue in this story is going to be is that she's 17. I mean, I don't think anyone at 17 is able to kind of rationalize feelings super well. Mm-hmm. I mean, 17, you're a junior in high school?
Yeah, but also, like, if you really don't, like, I've met a lot of people who truly hate their first names to the point that they just go by their middle name, and most people don't even know their, like, first name. I mean, there's famous YouTubers that go by their middle names.
My best friend growing up did that as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, Link from Rhett and Link. Link's his middle name. His first name is Charles. And, like...
Oh, that's actually weird. My best friend growing up, his real name was Charles. He did not go by it.
Yeah, like... It's
what
a very...
What is it with Charles?
I don't know. I think it's a really cute name, honestly. I love the name Charles. But, like... I just think it's a common thing. But for her parents to let her, like, legally change her name...
I think you should wait till 18.
Wow. I think you should wait, but also I don't think it's a horrible thing. Like...
Yeah.
Like, not liking your first name's a normal thing.
Mm-hmm. She brought it up again a week later, and she asked the same question and pressed more for why. She asked a third and fourth time. I gave her the same answer and asked her why she kept asking me. I told her my answer wasn't going to change. By the seventh time she admitted she was worried her baby would hate having an older name and wanted to figure out what she could do to prevent that from happening with me. What happened with me happening to her child. She also said she'd like me to rethink my name because she thought Evelyn was beautiful and she was sad I had chosen something like Indy over it. I asked her to stop so many times already, and I even asked my brother to stop her. He told me I needed to understand it was the hormones. I can easily say she has asked me more than 25 times by now. I'm not exaggerating that number either.
I hate the she's hormonal thing. Mm-hmm. Like, that's such a, like, and it's, the thing is, like, a lot of pregnant women don't even, like, use that as, like, an excuse. I hate the, like, oh, she's pregnant, she's, like, so hormonal. Like, yes, she is hormonal, but, like, you can communicate with her still, and she can still respect boundaries. And, like, I'm sorry to say it, but, like, I only know old people named Evelyn. I've never met a young person named Evelyn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if my first name was Pearl, sorry to Pearls out there, I would not like that.
But would you change your name at 17?
No, I'd probably just go by my middle name.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I also think it's odd that she's, like, pressing her because she doesn't want it to happen to her child. Like, this might be a little bit of a odd way to phrase it, but, like, if you don't want your baby to be, like, of a different sexual orientation, and you're, like, questioning people who have that different sexual orientation than yourself, like, that's just, it's odd. It's odd at worst, or at best, and it's questionable at worst.
Especially because, like, that's just something that can't be controlled.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when she was born and growing up, she couldn't control that she hated the name, like, Evelyn. Like, you just instinctively hate things. And, like, just like you instinctively are born liking a certain person. So, like, pressing it and being like, oh, reconsider is very weird.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, when she brought it up again, she felt like I had made a mistake changing my name and how 30-year-old me wouldn't be so against Evelyn. I told her 30-year-old me can deal with it if that happens. She told me I didn't really have a good reason to like the name, and Indy seemed like the kind of name someone young likes, but not someone older. Then yesterday happened, and I kind of lost my temper. She started out asking the same stuff, and the baby is almost ready to be born, so I know it's coming to an end, but she asked me to really think about why and help her because she couldn't figure out what she'd do differently than my parents did. Then she said they really shouldn't have let me change my name so young. I snapped, and I told her to stop asking me the same question because my answer won't change, and her comments are not changing my mind because I don't like old-fashioned names. I told her I think they're awful, and I'm sick and tired of hearing about how much better they are and having her try to make me find a reason she finds acceptable. I told her, just like she hates Indy, I hate Evelyn, and she needs to let it effing go already. She burst into tears, and my brother got so mad at me. My parents were also like, why did I have to speak to her so harshly? Am I the asshole? I don't think you're necessarily the asshole, but I think maybe you should have waited until after she had the baby to maybe have that conversation and maybe not immediately just blow up. Maybe take time to sit on it.
Yeah.
And kind of sit on those feelings. Because yes, it sucks, but I don't think lashing out, even though what the sister-in-law is doing is not right, it doesn't mean that lashing out at her and also hurting her and the rest of your family in the process is the right thing to do either.
I think the mature and, like, best option for her would have been was to, like, be like, oh, please excuse me for a minute, and, like, walk away till she's calmed down, because it's never good, especially with a family member that you're going to be seeing over and over and over and over again, to let your emotions get the best of you and blow up at them. Like, that's never the best choice. So, like, I think she should have just excused herself. Like, yes, it's tiresome of someone asking you the same question over and over and over again, but also, sadly, that's also kind of a part of growing up with extended family. Like, you're going to be asked the same thing over and over and over again, especially if they don't agree with you. And also, that's going to I guess it's a thing with family, so it's going to be a thing with in-laws. Like, you sometimes just have to excuse yourself and calm down and, like, I guess be the bigger person.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you don't expect it to go on much longer once the baby is actually born.
Yeah. Or, like, just ask her, like, whatever I say, is there really anything that's gonna, like, honestly change your mind?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, she was clearly looking for a specific answer, and she wasn't getting that answer, so she was just going to keep asking till she got that answer.
Yeah, she was stuck in her own ways and unable to see the other side.
So, like, at that point, she really should have said, like, is there anything I would say that would honestly make you feel better or change your mind?
Yeah, I agree. All right, our final story also comes from r/am I the asshole from user westernbag362. Am I the asshole for telling my mother-in-law that's all on her? My 5-year-old son's birthday is coming up, and he wants a chocolate cake with chocolate icing. It's his birthday, so I said yes. Sounds like a 5-year-old to me. I know that's the cake I wanted at 5. My mother-in-law can be a selfish cow sometimes. And my son was telling her how he's getting chocolate cake and chocolate ice cream. My mother-in-law said she didn't like that, and my son should get something we all like. Yeah, I mean, maybe don't call your mother-in-law a selfish cow off the rip. Seems a little harsh.
That does seem harsh, but it's also on something that her mother-in-law's never gonna see.
True. But that does also concern me if you're fully willing to call someone a selfish cow. I don't know. Maybe that's not the best way to put somebody that you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life.
That's true, but I also wonder what the mother-in-law did to earn that title.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I don't think we should have to say it, but her saying that to her son is not right, or her grandson is not right.
Yeah, no.
My son said, "It's not your birthday, so you don't get a say. This would be normally disrespectful, but recently said this... This would be normally disrespectful, but recently someone said this to my son when he went to his friend's party. When my son didn't like the cake flavor, and we had the discussion about how the birthday person gets to choose their cake flavor because it's their special day." Yeah, I mean, the 5-year-old should understand this. Or, I guess I should say, the mother-in-law should probably understand this better than the 5-year-old, but it doesn't seem like that's really clicking too well with the mother-in-law.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law was shocked, and I told her the same thing. I told my son, when it's your birthday, you can get whatever flavor of cake you want. My mother-in-law called me a bitch, and my son a spoiled brat. So I told her, with that attitude, you won't be coming to the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what sort of family they got going here? You just...
I think I see why she called her a selfish.
Yeah. Also, yeah, what type of family do you have going on where it's like, one thing goes wrong, yeah,
you're a...
Come on now, people. We're better than this. My husband was like, WTF, and tried to talk me into ordering his mom a cake she would enjoy after our son, and I was, quote, rude to her.
No. Why is he giving
his mother power in this situation? Sure, but like...
That's just also like...
This story is messed up. This can't be a real story, right?
You'd be surprised.
I don't know. This sounds too fake. Like, there's no, like, actual, like, anything happening in between these. I don't know. This seems a little questionable to me.
I don't know. I've seen some families, and I've seen some and heard some just with friends, and what their boyfriend's mom have said to them. I believe this could happen.
I'm gonna need a little filling in on this guy, because I have no idea what you're talking about. I said no, it isn't her day, and that just teaches our son to act entitled at other people's parties if we didn't stick to the rules and etiquette that we explained to him, and it will just make him confused, entitled, and spoiled. My husband saw the truth in that because our son was excited about his birthday cake for his birthday, and now understands that not everything is about him. Other people get to enjoy their special event how they want to. In return, my son gets to enjoy the special event and occasions not how he wants to. Yeah, this... I don't know.
This is dumb.
This is A, dumb, or B, fake. One or the other, or both is true.
I don't think it's fake. I've seen plenty of family stuff, like, where these type of people do exist, 100%. I think it's a small, dumb thing to, like, be having this type of episode over, but you've also heard many stories about, mother-in-laws wearing a white dress to their son's wedding. There's literally that whole theory about that psychological... What is it?
Oh,
daughters
Freudian.
fall in love with... Yeah, Freudian's thing where it's like...
You fall for someone who looks and acts like you're...
That, but also like sons' first love is their moms and daughters' first sons is their dads.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Alright. My mother-in-law doesn't seem to get that and wants my son to write her a, quote, sorry note, and what he did was wrong. My husband and I don't feel like my son did anything wrong by repeating what his parents told him. My mother-in-law said she's not coming to the birthday party or getting him a gift without the apology note. I told my mother-in-law that's all on her. I mean, this is just an embarrassing story for the mother-in-law. If this actually happened, this is just embarrassing behavior to lash out at a 5-year-old for acting very maturely, I will say.
Yes, that is a very mature 5-year-old. The most mature one, it seems, in the room. Well, not really, because, like, I think the mom's handling it, honestly, pretty well. Not forcing your kid to apologize when they didn't do anything wrong, I think is really good. Honestly. And I think the dad handled it wrong. I think the dad's feeding, like, the grandma's...
Well, he started to, but then he kind of came around on it. Yeah,
I think... Yeah, the grandma's just not...
Psycho.
Yeah, she's something.
But yeah, with that, that will conclude our Reddit stories. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Comment if you have any thoughts of your own on what you thought of any of these Reddit stories. We will see you all very soon.